This is the Wise Guy Radio Show, a podcast dedicated to educating and inspiring through conversations with today's top talents in the world of glass. We will be dissecting their journeys in hopes to deliver actionable content that you, the artist, can start implementing now, helping you grow not only as a creative spirit, but also a successful artistic entrepreneur. With a little organization, relationship building, and your artistic ability, you can obtain greatness. Climb aboard, whether an artist, retail owner, or enthusiast. We have a ton of fun in store for you. Welcome to the Wise Guy Radio Show.
You're listening to the Wise Guy Radio Show.
Hey, what's happening? Welcome to the Wise Guy Radio Show, episode number 144. This is Jae Merm, your host, and thank you so much for tuning in today. With 17 years of experience behind the torch, I am as excited as always to bring you conversations with artists, sharing their stories in hopes to inspire and entertain, while helping you grow your business. And today is no exception. Today's guest features Jae, goes by HLK Glass on Instagram and social feeds. HLK stands for Happy Little Korean, and she is a little badass Korean girl. She's been in the torch, or behind the torch, and in the glass scene for a little bit over 5 years. Took some time off after doing some production work for a company, and has been now working a full-time 9-to-5 in the weapons industry. And those that follow her on Instagram will see that she likes her guns and knives and what have you, but also is a fan of art and glass in general. Has an amazing little boy, Tristan, which we talk a lot about. And we just have an overall fun conversation. We cover the glass, and really my whole point of bringing her on was to just kind of discuss kind of lifestyle and just the life of a female glass artist who is a single mom and is working a full-time job and is also trying to find her voice in her glass. And she gets into a lot of her kind of topics of discovery, especially for 2017 and kind of this little path that she's on. I thought it was a lot of fun. We just kind of really ran all over the place with this conversation, and as you'll be able to hear, it was pretty good chemistry with the conversation, and just for me personally, it was a lot of fun. This was recorded a little bit late at night, so myself personally, as the interview went on, I became more and more tired. Literally, we ended the interview around almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I got a little goofy and delirious towards the end, as you'll hear. And but that being said, it still was a lot of fun. So definitely go check her out. You can find her on Instagram. Again, her Instagram page is at HLKGlass. I'll have all her information in the show notes. One thing I will say also that was a major topic of conversation about this whole with her, and why I want to bring her on was her life has been a journey of discovery and adversity. Being born as to parents who were not married yet, basically born out of wedlock in South Korea. From there, she was adopted as an infant by American parents, and is now in the States and has been her whole life. And going from there to her college career, and she was hoping to get into become a collegiate athlete playing lacrosse, and then suffered a severe ankle sprain, which more or less ended her career in her senior year in high school. And she still went ahead and tried to play her freshman year in college, and re-sprained and re-injured the same ankle, which basically caused her to just say F it, and she finished out her freshman year of school, and then she joined the Air Force and became a fighter jet and heavy cargo airplane mechanic, which is pretty badass. So, yeah, my dog decided just to let herself out in the studio. So anyways, sorry for the distraction. Wanted to remind you as well that right now Mountain Glass has their January sale going on for the whole month of January in 2017 here. You can get Golden Gate tubing for 35% off right now, and they also are running a contest, I should say, more than it is just a competition, where if you are using the Golden Gate tubing for your work, you can then send them pictures of what it is you're making, and then they're going to pick and vote and rate their favorite work made by whoever the artist was. So basically it says, announcing this month's Mountain Glass Art Contest. This month we want to see your best glass art featuring Golden Gate tubing. Post or send pics of your best glass work featuring as many varieties of Golden Gate tubing that we offer, and become eligible to win a 3-pound bundle of Golden Gate tubing. This special contest only lasts a month, so get on that torch and show us all why you deserve to win. And if you get their emails, definitely you'll get that. You'll see in there, or you can just go to their website, mountainglass.com, their homepage. You'll have a little thing on there talking about the contest. And click the link. It has further details on how to either submit your photos or to post them, probably through your social feeds. And I'm assuming you would just tag Mountain Glass in there and let them know that you're posting some stuff using Golden Gate tubing. I think it's pretty badass. Little contests they're having, as well as a chance for you to try out some of the Golden Gate tubing if you have not yet tried that stuff out. It's pretty nice stuff. I like all the different variations and color combinations and different stuff. It's pretty sweet. And right now, if you are hearing this episode this week, the first week of January, they have right now their sale runs from a new sale they're doing. Their Get It Quick runs from January 4th through January 6th, 2017. You can get their shot bore rod and tube at 35% off. Just put in the code SHOT, SCHOTT, at checkout. And then also for all you soft glass nerds, they have their CBS Euro bars at 20% off through January 6, 2017. Just put in the coupon code CBS104 at checkout. And again, this ends on January 6th, and it began on the 4th. They also were letting you all know, too, that they have some new colors in stock. They got their absinthe and maple syrup transparents that North Star Glassworks has produced, as well as new dark blue slime from Troutman Art Glass. And all three colors look pretty amazing. Looking forward to get my hands on some of this stuff myself. So, and then just their normal January sale is, their Golden Gate tubing, is 20% off, not 35%. So 20% off Golden Gate Glassworks tubing for the entire month of January 2017. Ignore the first I said about the 35% off because that is not true. So just put in the code GOLDENGATE at checkout, GOLDENGATE at checkout to receive 20% off Golden Gate tubing. So other than that, I'm going to keep going on here and get on the website and keep getting things going. I went on there yesterday and cleared a bunch of crap up to get it to be more usable and user-friendly. You can go on there if you have not yet subscribed to the newsletters and podcast previews and episode stuff. There's a new little thing on there you can get, and as well as the newsletter itself. If you are subscribed, pay attention to what we're going to be putting out our newsletter on a regular basis now every week, giving you some insights into what's going on here at Wise Guy Media. Between the new online courses that we're getting going, I'm officially set up. I'm just waiting for one little piece of equipment to come in so I can begin the actual filming of the classes. But in the meantime, I'm going to be doing some filming and offering some free technique stuff here pretty soon, which I'm excited about to get you all rocking and rolling with some of these new classes we're going to be offering. So in the meantime, thank you for tuning in to episode 144 featuring HLK, or Jay, you can call her by her first name. And definitely check it out. Stay tuned for the entire episode. It's about 2 hours long, a little bit more than that. We had, again, a whole shit ton of fun talking. So enjoy, and we'll talk to you next time on the episode 145, I guess it'll be. So until then, take care of yourselves. Love ya. Talk to you soon. Peace. Hey, Jay, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. It's an honor to have you on here. Your story is pretty wild and crazy. Everything from being adopted to being a member of the Air Force and lacrosse, and you have a 9-to-5, and you have an awesome little glass thing going for yourself, along with following you on social media and all your food and your life in general. It's just, I thought you were perfect for this show. So stoked to have you on here.
Dude, thank you so much. I'm actually pretty stoked to be able to talk to you and get this thing going. So
Hell yeah. So before I get too out of control and sidetracked, if you want to start off by telling us your origins and how you were introduced into glass.
Well, basically it started because I started smoking weed again. And it was after I was out of the military and had my son. And I just kind of got to a point where I don't know if it was like postpartum depression, but I just knew that there was like this change I needed to make in my life. And so, for whatever reason, I just like started smoking weed again. And through smoking, I met people who blew glass. And I had a friend in San Diego. I'm actually still good friends with him. And he just invited me over to his studio and was like, hey, come and see if you like it, check it out. And I went over there for a weekend and it was awesome. We went to the beach, we melted some glass, and yeah, that's kind of how it started out of state.
Heck yeah.
um, but eventually I got in touch with the person who gave me my first lesson. His name is Natty Franco. Dude, Natty's the fucking man. Like, he invited me over to his home studio, and gave me like my first formal lesson and just showed me basic stuff, but it was so amazing. Like making cane, frit, encasing an opal. I mean, just it's like stuff that we kind of like look at now and be like, oh, that's not really anything too killer, but
Right.
to me, yeah, but to me, it blew my fucking mind. So I had a lesson with Natty, and then Natty started working in a production studio, and he invited me over, and I met the owner, or like the partner or whatever, because there's two people who own the company, and they were like, yeah, come and apprentice, and I was like, all right, let's do this. So I started apprenticing at a production shop. Eventually, they told me I was good enough to get paid. So then I started working there full time, making pendants, and learned how to make a spoon and little things here and there.
Right.
So
About how
yeah.
long do you think it was that they finally felt you're worthy to begin making stuff? Or actually, I shouldn't say making stuff, but to get paid.
Oh yeah. I think it was like, I would say like 6 months.
Okay.
Um, but I can't say for sure because you know how a lot of people are in the glass industry. They're just like kind of spacey. So it might have been like a little bit more than 6 months when
Are you
I
referring
started
to
getting
yourself or to them?
steady things.
Not knowing how long it's
Okay.
been.
Yeah, like okay, so I'm a little spacey.
It's
Everybody knows
okay. Yeah,
that.
I am too.
But totally like they were pretty spacey when it came to like paying and stuff. It was kind of like inconsistent.
Yeah, it
So,
sucks. Yeah, I think that that's kind of over the years. It's part of one of those the big dream of having a studio. I know I've had it myself. I've had like 7 or 8 studios over the years where I've had
mhm,
people working for me, and it's definitely it's not easy to do. It's definitely a business, and you gotta have a business sense. And it's like you can't do everything, which could be I don't know what the involvement was with them, but yeah, it sucks either way.
totally.
But it sounds
Yeah,
like you got a good foundation though before you even got there that allowed you to learn quickly to then getting paid when you were
definitely.
actually getting paid.
Yeah, and I've always been really into art. Like as a child, I got published and like was in gallery shows for different art mediums and stuff. So I feel like having a background, not very, I guess not really like a formal collegiate background in art, but just like that little bit here and there and up through high school, I feel like that helped me. So
Yeah, hell yeah. It definitely. Did you get into any kind of like sculpting, like clay, any kind of thing like that?
actually still kind of mess around with clay to
Oh,
this
cool.
day.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't throw on a wheel or anything because I've tried that a few times and I would have to sit down and like take a formal lesson
Dude,
to
I
throw on
cannot
a wheel.
center clay to save my fucking life.
Holy shit,
Right?
that is hard.
It's like I can make this shit in glass, but like my teacher for college, she was like maybe like 4'11", and about 8 months pregnant when I started taking her class, and she could like take the biggest blob of shit out of the bucket, and then just like center it, get a little bit of
Mhm.
water in there, and stick her thumb in the center of that thing and run a whole wall up like 6 feet tall,
Dude, it's
like. Yeah,
amazing.
I know,
Yeah,
right? And she's like, "This is all you have to do." And I'm like, "I can't get this shit." So I'm the same way. I'm more in the sculpting and building, but yeah. So,
totally.
anyways, sorry, I had to throw my
No,
two
you're
cents in
good.
there because I told you I'm the same way. I think it's pretty funny.
It's actually kind of nice to hear another glass artist say that they also do things in other art mediums because um, I don't feel, well, I kind of feel like some people probably get tired about talking about glass all day, especially because the hype is so real now, and everyone's always like talking at them or trying to
Hmm.
pick their brain about glass. And I'm always like, hey, do you do anything else to supplement that? Because I I don't get tired of things, but like sometimes I just need like I guess a change of pace to focus my mind in a different way on a different medium. And so I always try to see if there are other artists that like do clay or I think a lot of us generally draw or
Hmm.
try to draw
Yeah,
especially like
yeah, I agree. Yeah, go on.
oh sorry
No, no,
sorry
I was cutting you off.
I'm so bad. I'm so bad about that. But just to like get our ideas out there as a baseline. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Because I know like a lot of the guests I've had on are just people in general, art glass artists. I always ask them that if they draw or sketch or whatever, and I've come across several that don't or can't draw, or they can't draw a stick figure even, but then they go make glass, and it's just whatever they are able to translate from their brain right onto the glass. It's just fucking mind blowing.
Dude, it's crazy. I know that for me, in particular, clay has really helped me with sculpting.
Hmm.
Not so much the process of how I would do it in glass, but just like putting different shapes together. It's really nice to be able to physically see it without going out to the torch and like just cracking a bunch of shit and just having like a pile of trash.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. That's why, like in the creative process, I always preach to do something in clear, like do like a clear sketch. My buddy Christian is a soft glass guy. He
mhm,
always referred to like his first piece was always in clear, and that was like his sketch, and he would maybe throw like the first 20 away, but they were in
mhm.
clear, so it was like whatever to him. And then he'd get that final one that he's like, okay, this is it. This is what we're gonna refer to as our sketch, and then make it in several different ways in color. But I agree too with the clay because like in myself, my child since I was as long as I can remember, I've always done some kind of drawing or clay or something. And I remember being a kid making fish in clay and trying to get like as detailed as I could, just using like my fingernails, and just different impressions with my hands. Which then translating into glass, I had to learn how to use tools. I couldn't really use my fingers anymore. So it's definitely
Yeah.
different. But I do agree, it teaches you proportion and shape and movement of structure, and it's interesting taking away and adding, and it's a lot of similarities.
Oh yeah, proportion has been a huge issue for me. So using clay first has really helped me with that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you did the company, you worked for them for what, like a year, not even that, or something like that.
I actually worked for them for like
Oh,
two-ish
okay.
years, almost, yeah, like two, almost 3 years. Dude, I mean, it was a lot of fun. There were a few different artists in there. And it was like a big facility. I learned a lot of things that I wouldn't have learned on my own, like crucible pulls and mixing color. Like I helped with a lot of tube pulls and making color, and that was really interesting because that's not a side that's generally taught.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think in like basic production. And I made like learned how to make a solid spoon, vac stacks. I kind of just learned like a little bit of everything along the way, being around different artists. So that was cool. But the company disbanded over like a period of one night, like over one event in one night. And
Mm.
I just like, yeah, there was some fucking crazy drama and they disbanded the company. And so I got told that like I didn't have a job anymore. Um, I got invited to go down the street, ironically, to a different studio with one of the business partners, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good." And then the other one was like, "Oh, you can stay here and like run this shop," and I was like, "Nah, I'm definitely good on that." So I basically just like broke ties with both of them, and then I was like, "Well, I guess I need a job first of all because I have like bills to pay. I have a kid." And he's always, going to be my number one priority.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my 9 to 5. I work in the weapons industry now, and I just like saved up a bunch of money, bought myself a Herbie, uh, which was like, dude, the day that I got here, I was just in so much shock. It was beautiful. So pristine, like opening that box, and Tristan was with me too. He's like, "Oh, your torch is here." I feel like he was just as excited as I was, so that was really cool.
Yeah, it is.
And then the previous summer, I had bought a kiln at Champs because ABR does that. They'll try to just sell them so they don't have to put them in storage. So I got a good deal on like a real decent sized Paragon, and yeah, I pretty much had everything else after that. My old shop apprentice that was working with me at the production studio decided to be a tattoo apprentice. So he gave me like his oxygen tank and all this clear and some tools and
Rad.
his hoses and gauges. Yeah, dude, he's so fucking solid. Honestly, like he's one of the best guys. We're still super good friends to this day. And if you ever need a tattoo in Vegas, go hit him up. His Instagram is Art by Goon. His name
Hell
is
yeah.
Al. Tell him Jay sent you. But yeah,
What was his
he's
name again? You said Alan?
Alex,
Alex, okay.
like Alex Trebek.
Awesome. It's just your signal went away for a second. I just want to make sure, because I'll put that in the show notes for everybody. Check them out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he gave me a lot of the things I needed to start. I got like ventilation and stuff and my garage, and I just started like a little studio in my garage. Got a drafting table off of Craigslist for a real good deal.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't have asked for it to work out any better than it did. And there were times when I was like, man, maybe I should just sell this shit and just quit, because I don't even know if it's worth it anymore. But I always stuck with it. There were a lot of times after I set up my shop where I wouldn't go out here for weeks. I would just like look at all this shit and be like, man, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It was really weird to go from being in a production studio to on my own. And like the way that we all broke ties was not like, honestly, it like wasn't good at all.
Yeah, I'm sure it put a bad taste in your mouth. You probably had to heal from that too for a little bit.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was super bitter, to be honest. Like I felt like I definitely got fucked over, and like it is what it is now. Like I'm over it, but just at the time, I was like, man, it all was just a mess. So I got over it and started to try to find my own path and forge my own way and figure out my creative voice in glass, and that's like where I'm at right now.
Yes. Do you remember that moment in time when you felt like, fuck this, I'm going to go out there and make something?
Yeah, and it was always good when I got in a good mindset and I was determined to make something, or I had excuse me, something in particular in mind. It honestly, like, it would always work out. And I think it was just because I had that mindset, like, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it well, and it's going to be good. And it always was. But there were days when I knew I wasn't feeling it, and I would try to go out there. And I know everybody who blows glass knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like the days where you should just not even try, but you do anyway. And it's still good, that we do. But sometimes it ends in disappointment or anger or whatever, definitely not positive.
Yeah, and it's like through my life of the 18 years of doing this, I've, gone through relationships and what have you. And anybody I was with, friendship, whatever, I always let them know, like, I'm about to go to work, and if you start wanting to argue with me or get me in this bad mindset, my day is going to be fucked.
Totally.
And it sucks to like have somebody else, blame them for this negative energy you're getting, but still, you know how this shit is. Like you're saying, like there's days where it's like getting in an argument with somebody and going and getting in a car is like the worst thing you can do,
Yeah.
But for those of us that support ourselves with this medium that we have to go work, those days you're in there that you don't want to be there, that you have to be there, and then like 1 or 3 out of every 5 pieces you're making cracks and goes to shit. It's like, fuck, I should just be at the beach or in bed. So, whatever.
No, I feel you. And to me, glass is really emotional. And I don't know if it's just art. This is the first thing that I've ever really like stuck with besides the military or lacrosse. And like organized sports are totally different
Hmm.
than doing any kind of like art, especially on your own. And so to me, glass has always been very emotional, and I don't know why. It just I think it's because I try to translate my feelings or in into something physical that people can see, whether it's like, something stupid or, whatever, but it's just yeah, it's a very emotional thing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's like an expression of what you're trying to say. Whatever that voice is you're trying to get out and talk about and share with the world. And you get all the love out there, and then all of a sudden you get one asshole that's like, yeah, that shit sucks, and then it ruins everything.
Dude, people are fucking haters these days, man. And I feel really lucky because I haven't had really anybody, and I'm probably going to jinx myself now. Everyone's going to go on my Instagram and talk shit to me. But like, people have really not said anything mean to me. At least anything that really stands out that I can remember. They've always been like, oh, that's cool. Or I don't know if it's because everybody knows I have guns and like knives and stuff like that. They don't want
Well, fuck
they don't
you.
want to talk shit. Yeah,
I think it's
but
because you have this persona, which is who you are on social media feeds that people see that they dig, and that you haven't like been some showboating chick out there doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you're a glassblower. You're actually like you're an artist who found this medium years ago, and now you're showing everybody what you're doing.
I appreciate that. I feel like I came from a really humble beginning where I was, I started out as an apprentice, like I wasn't getting paid. I just stuck with it because I like to do it.
Hmm.
And for me, that's super rare. And the fact that I wanted to continue on in glass, even by myself after what had happened, separating from the production shop, that just spoke volumes to myself because, for the basic reason that I usually am just really, I'm really okay with cutting things off and just like being done with it, whether it be people or like relationships. And it's not a good quality, but I just can sever ties like with anything.
What's your
And be
astrology sign?
I'm actually on the cusp of a Scorpio and a Sagittarius.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so
Makes sense.
I'm kind of difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I'm a second deacon Sag, so I'm gonna know what it's all about. You're like the asshole of the group of us.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Because I'm the same way. I can cut and run with no problem and not even look back. Like I've always considered my personality to be a kind asshole. Like I'll give you the shirt off my back, but tell you to go fuck yourself at the same time. You
Oh
know.
yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah.
I definitely
And
understand.
I feel like you and I are really alike in that way because you seem like you're just like super nice and you don't want to be mean, but like if you're pushed to it, then like it's go time. Like you can handle it. So
Yeah, that's why I don't fight anybody though, because I'm afraid I'm gonna kill somebody if I ever do. Like I've been watching wrestling since fifth grade, so I got about 35 years of WWF in my brain of power bombing and suplexing people, and that kind of shit. So yeah, I
dude,
avoid. Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. It's funny that you actually say that because someone was trying to talk shit to me on the internet once, and it wasn't even about glass. Like it was about something stupid. And I was like, dude, if you really like want to talk shit to me, then just write it all down on a piece of paper and then come and talk to me when you're in Vegas. Like I'm down to come and talk to you. And their exact words were, come and bring your guns and knives and try to kill me. I'll be in the age showroom. And I was like, dude, I don't need a gun or a knife for you to come and like say what you're
What the
trying to see at the
fuck?
internet. Dude, it was so fucking weird. It was
Yeah, it's
just
crazy.
so weird. Like I'm not gonna bring a gun or a knife into a casino or like a showroom anyway, but
Yeah,
I don't even pack like that. So I don't know. It
so
was just
gangster.
it actually made me feel kind of like a badass.
I'm
Like
sure.
damn, you think I'm gonna come and like fucking put a nine in you? Shit.
Oh, that's so funny. So that's actually a good transition because I want to go way back here now before your glass because I think you are a bit of a badass. I wouldn't say a bit, but I think you are a badass. Just based on your life that you've had from being born where you were to where you are now. It's like I don't know. It just like we talked about kind of pre-show. The glass medium is such a kick in the nuts or vagina, whatever sex you are, and it's like the adversity we have to overcome on a constant basis, whether we're cutting and burning ourselves or our shit breaks or someone's talking shit about our glass on Instagram or whatever, it's like all this stuff we have to constantly deal with. Could the simplest person just be knocked down and say, fuck it, I'm done. But we just keep going and going and going and going. And next thing you know, it's 25 years later and you're making amazing artwork and you're still expressing yourself and still breaking stuff and cutting yourself and burning yourself, But where you've come from, being born in South Korea and then being adopted at a few months old and then going and having this amazing experience with the Air Force and going to college and playing sports. So I kind of went back up there, like, I guess your influence, like through your parents, your adopted parents, like were they really like, I mean, obviously adopting you is an amazing thing and just in general as a human being to do that for another human being, but then like to take you on in this path and this journey and where you are now, like, do you feel like they were really there for helping you out? Motivating you?
Definitely. Yeah. I like my parents, I have to say, I feel like I only have really one set of parents, and that's my adoptive parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I I feel so blessed every day to be alive because in South Korea, if you are a child born out of wedlock, and you're not put up for adoption, um, well, you go to an orphanage and or your parents keep you, and if your parents decide to keep you or whoever, like your mom or your dad, they're basically just like shunned from their family. So it was a very realistic, it was just a very real possibility that if I was not adopted, I would probably be dead by the time I was like 14, or I would be a prostitute. Like they're really prevalent over there, juicy girls.
Right.
Um, and so, um, my parents, man, like they're just, man, they're just so awesome. They've always supported me every decision that I've made that was good, like for sure good. Even glass, my mom's like super religious. She's Italian, so she was like, hardcore religious, kind of like by the book.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was actually raised by, well, my grandpa, my grandma, and my grandpa was a World War II veteran who also got a Purple Heart for being shot in the leg by a sniper. And then he turned into a pastor. So, like, that's just like a little bit of a background on my parents. So, super religious, like, super, like, strict, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when they found out that I was going to, well, I was like making pipes, um, they were kind of iffy about it at first, but my dad actually bought me my kiln at Champs.
Nice.
Yeah, and then my mom, she went to Age, like my second Age, and like walked around the showroom with me and stuff. And dude, it was so cool.
That's amazing just to have
I
had them
would
exposed to that like that.
I would never ever picture my mom walking around a room filled with fucking bongs
Right.
ever.
And a bunch of crazy burly stoners.
Yeah, it was so cool. She
It's
met
awesome.
like dude, she met like a bunch of people. She met Bertoni. She met who else did she meet? I think she met I know she met Bertoni for sure. She met one other person. I can't remember who it was, but she had a good time. She was real cool, and like everyone was kind of like looking and wondering like who, like who's that older lady who looks super uncomfortable.
Right.
But yeah, but that was my mom, and it was awesome. So they've really been there for me in all aspects of my life, being a parent, helping me with my son, like giving me real solid advice, respecting how I want to raise him and live my life. And yeah, it's been real cool.
Yeah, it is. So then you got to college and you're said you were really big into sports and stuff and playing lacrosse, and then you snapped your. You had, I guess, yeah, you had a grade 3 ankle sprain. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So that was like not even walking on that foot, huh?
Yeah, I actually don't know how I was walking to begin with. I
Yeah, it's
think I
crazy.
just have a really high tolerance for pain, but I played lacrosse and I was really involved in organized sports from a super young age. In middle school, I got started in lacrosse, and I just kind of continued on, and I was pretty decent. I played on a elite traveling team, and we went all over the country, and just got looked at by schools. I would go to lacrosse camps at different colleges. I grew up in central New York, so I went to Syracuse lacrosse camp and I went to Duke super elite camp for a summer. It was the summer going into my senior year, so that's when I was real hot on getting recruited, and um, my parents like brought me down there for a weekend, and I got exposure to all the schools in the South, and I ended up spraining my ankle and pretty much sitting out all of my senior year.
That
And that
sucks.
was like, dude, that was a fucking bummer. Like that was real hard. And I was kind of sweating bullets because I was pretty much banking on going to a college and playing lacrosse.
Hmm.
Even though I didn't know what I wanted to do in school, I all I knew is I just wanted to play lacrosse. So I sprained my ankle and I sat out, and the determination was that I was going to have to get my ligaments reconstructed, and that was by like the one of like the best athletic doctors in central New York, like in the tri-state area. So I was devastated. I ended up just picking a Division 3 school because I honestly didn't feel like there was any point in going to a Division 1 if I was gonna have to redshirt my freshman year anyway and possibly like never play again.
Hmm.
Um, After surgery. So I chose a Division 3 in North Carolina. I went down first the first semester of my freshman year, and I ended up spraining my ankle again. I
Jeez.
never had, dude. I know it was like it was heartbreaking. I was just I was super upset, and so I actually left after my freshman year. I never got reconstructive surgery, and I just healed up and did my physical therapy. And then I decided to go into the military because, like, I think just knowing I wasn't going to play lacrosse ever again, it was just kind of like pointless for me, which I know is not good because, you go to college to gain an education, but I honestly did not give a flying fuck about going to class.
Yeah.
I just wanted to go and like play sports and stuff and parties. So, um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
understand
so
that.
that's what it was all about for me, and it just wasn't a reality anymore. So I ended up going to the military, and I went through basic training. I was the dorm chief of my flight, so that means that I was like the one person in charge. I was always having to like report to like our sergeant or like whoever. Dude, it was fucking stressful, but it was amazing. It was one of the most amazing experiences. I went to tech school after that in Wichita Falls, and it was for aircraft, like to be an aircraft mechanic. So I got orders after I graduated that I got orders to Alaska, and that's where I was stationed. And I was working on F-15s, F-22s, C-17s, and E-3 AWACS. It's like a giant spy plane.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, it was that was like that was fucking cool though.
Yeah, it's killer. It's interesting because my uncle flew F-15s and he was stationed in Anchorage back in I think up through I want to say like 98, 99, and then when his they at the point then they were actually pulling the planes out because the F-22s were coming in, but they weren't ready yet. I guess at that point in their
Mhm.
development stage. So he was going to go to the Pentagon and have a desk job for 4 years. And he was like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. So he retired, and now he flies and trains pilots for UPS.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a while, when I was up there, we still had F-15s, but I think probably at the point when your uncle was up there, they were phasing out the E models, which are like mostly the two-seaters.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are two-seaters,
Yeah.
and then like there's also C and D models, and like we still had a couple two-seaters, but they weren't E models on base. So, like I think we had, yeah, there were like two F-22 squadrons, and then there was still the one giant. I mean, it was huge, a giant F-15 squadron. Like they pretty much had one whole side of the base all to themselves.
Huh. Did you guys
Or the
have
flight line.
were the A-10s there still?
No, we didn't have A-10s. The only time I had A-10 exposure was when we went TDY to Nellis, which is like basically TDY is like when you get temporary orders to a different base for whatever, like training. I went to Nellis, which is actually here in Las Vegas. It was my first time in Vegas, and we were flying in red flag. And so it's basically like red flag, green flag, gold flag. Like there's all different kinds of names for them now. But it's a huge training exercise where everyone from even different parts of the world come, and they bring different planes. So it was super cool. Like Japan was there, Germany was there. There were Navy aircraft. I mean, it was tight. There were F-16, like aggressors. It was awesome.
Hell yeah. Yeah, because as a kid that would watch my uncle, he flew all over the country, different bases and whatever, starting with F-4s and the F-16s and whatever. And that's something I always wanted to do. So all through high school, I got all my shit together. I was like making really good grades, and then I was introduced into cannabis, and I said, fuck it. Like I even had a letter from Governor Nelson, who was my grandfather ran his campaign like in the late 80s. Like all kind of crazy shit. So I had like all these recommendations. I mean, I had everything I needed to get into up into the Air Force Academy, to get into the flight academy up there, except for the fact that I didn't want to go eventually. I don't know. Life takes its turns and twists, but either way, I still try to go to air shows when I can.
Oh yeah, the air shows are great. We had an air show up in Alaska when I was stationed there, and it was a good time. I actually got to help run the event, and it was real cool. I just in general like being on the flight line. I never really liked the downtime in the shop, even though obviously it was necessary, but I always really liked being out there to launch the jets and do like troubleshooting on the line, even though it would be like -25, like just so
Jesus.
unbelievably fucking cold. Yeah, I've never experienced a cold like that. And even though it's dry and it's tolerable to an extent, it's still insanely cold.
Dude, it's under 65 degrees Fahrenheit. To me, I wouldn't be able to survive.
I remember when springtime would come and I would look on my phone and I'd be like, oh, it's 32 degrees out. I'm just going to walk outside without, in a t-shirt, without a jacket. And it's awesome. And now I'm like, man, it's 55 in Vegas. Why don't I have heated seats in my truck?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's so funny. We'll have an app for that one day. We'll have like a heated seat app or some shit.
I'm surprised someone hasn't come up with it already.
Yeah, right. I know. Our phones get hot
That's
enough as they
your
are.
$1 idea.
Yeah, we'll just play a bunch of Pokemon Go. It makes your phone really hot because it's taking all the battery off the sumbitch, and you can just put that in your back pocket and you'll be good.
Dude, I never downloaded that app.
No?
Everyone was like making a big deal about it, and of course I have to be like the angsty fucking teenager.
I was
Be
like
"Nah,
that for
fuck
the first.
that.
Yeah, I was like that for like 3
Fuck
days.
that shit.
Yeah, I was that way, and then all of a sudden, all the artists over where I work at, they're all like at the park on their breaks, walking around, catching shit and having fun. I'm like, God, I miss this. I want to have fun with them. So, and I had no idea even what the hell Pokemon was. And my son, who's now 9, he's all about it. So like, I started playing it to learn it for him, and it's become my own obsession.
Oh yeah, that's right. Use your kid as an excuse,
Yeah,
man.
it's yeah. I'm 40 years old and I play Pokemon Go, and I don't give a fuck what you think. I love it. It's fun.
We're all judging you right now.
Good.
Don't worry.
Please do. I'm a badass Pokemon trainer. Watch out. Go Team Instinct.
I don't even know what that means, but I
It's
wish you
okay.
the best of luck.
My wife doesn't either. Whenever I like explain things to her, like you can with the augmented reality with it, you can actually like have these animated characters in your real space, which is amazing. Which is one of the things about it that turned me on was just the technology. So I have fun with like catching Pokemon now in the house, and I'm like, I was cooking the other day and making my lunch for the week, and all of a sudden like Pikachu pops up in my house. I'm like, oh shit, I bet you can line him up. So he's like coming out of my pot on my stove, and sure as shit, I was able to have him like I opened my lid up and there's Pikachu in my pot, and I got a whole video of the thing. It was freaking crazy. So I showed it to her. I was like, hey, I was cooking last night and this thing popped out of my pot, and she's like, was it a Pikachu? And I'm like, yeah, how'd you know? She's like, that's the only name of the Pokemons I know, so I'm just guessing, kind of thing. It was so funny. She's a trooper for listening to all my rambling bullshit about this stupid game, but enough about that. So
It's all right. I used to be a gamer, a PC gamer,
nice.
and a little bit on the Xbox. I got an Xbox too.
Hell yeah. I had one until I had the Red Ring of Death, and then it became a doorstop and then a piece of garbage.
Yeah, man, that was terrible. And the 360 was my first console. I thought it was the coolest thing. I was like, oh, look
Mm-hmm.
at this. And then I got a red ring, but I only got one. I never got all four.
Yeah, mine was like and what sucked with mine is I bought mine from somebody else. I actually traded a bubbler, which is crazy. So he had like maybe like 10 hours on this thing, so I didn't have any receipts or anything for it, so I couldn't even get like the warranty or anything to prove that I had bought it myself.
Oh, damn,
So
that sucks. That's a bummer.
yeah, I was like mid Gears of War, and all of a sudden the thing kills on me. I was like, oh, son of a bitch.
I was really into Call of Duty.
Yeah, me too.
Naturally, I like the shoot 'em up games.
Right. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. That's why on my phone even I've got some zombie games I play that are pretty gnarly for shoot 'em up games.
Oh, I'm not really a big like phone gamer. I think it makes me mad because the screen is so small and it's just like really different, so I get super frustrated. Plus I have a tendency to throw things, and so
Oh yeah.
I've broken enough phones in my life to know what my limits are at this
You are a
point.
badass. Holy shit. Throwing phones and
Dude, I
carrying
got a
knives and
wicked
guns.
temper sometimes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Watch out.
I got a temper on me. I think it's the Sagittarius
Yeah,
side.
it is. I explained that to my wife. She's like, "You're yelling." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm passionate. I'm talking loud. I promise you. I can show you what yelling is, kind of thing." Because I get all fired up. It's like, man, I need to
Oh
take
yeah.
a cold shower and cool off a little bit.
I feel I feel you. Someone tried to play a joke on me at work, and I was walking out of the office, and they were like, it was really stupid. Um, but anyway, I was like, oh yeah, my vacation's in there, right? Because I told you we're going to Orlando or whatever. We're going to take Tristan to Disney, and so I was like, yeah, my vacation's in there, right? And they're like, no, but everybody else's is, and people are like going away that same week. And I was like, dude, are you fucking kidding me right now? And they're like, no, there's nothing in the books. And I was like, oh my fucking god, this is like not good. And I just walked out of the office, and I took like 4 steps out of the threshold, and I was shaking, and like my palms were sweating, and my like body temperature instantly rose. They're like, no, we're just kidding, come back.
Oh my gosh, awesome.
I was like, dude, you can't do that. You can't.
Yeah, like if you were single and you didn't have like kids, involved in things happening like that, it may not. I mean, it would be a big deal still, but I'm sure you probably would have reacted a little differently.
Dude, it was really because, and this probably sounds childish, but it's true. My mom would have just been super fucking pissed. Like it was my mother's reaction that I was more worried about.
Hey, it's all good.
Yeah, I still respect the moms. So
Yeah. Yeah, so let's see if we can get the train back on the tracks here. So I went way out in left field, but whatever. It always happens. That's why I like doing this
that's
shit.
okay. That's
So
all right.
yeah, for sure. So yeah. So now we're out of military, out of playing sports. You're introduced into glass, do the studio, do your own thing. So now you've been doing your own thing now for what, about a year? You're saying?
Yeah, I've been in my own studio for about a year, like a little bit under. This around this time last year, because it was like Age and Champs time, I still didn't have everything up and ready. Like I think I had my torch, but I didn't have everything else set up. Like I had to get an electrician to um, put the right kind of wiring in for my kiln and like outlet and stuff like that. And I really don't know too much about that. And I wasn't trying to like fry my house.
Yeah,
So
good thinking.
I had to call a professional. And I think it wasn't until really around like March, April, and even then I was still kind of like in a funk, but that's when I was really like ready to go up and running. So, yeah, it's been a little under a year now.
Hell yeah. So when you're doing you're doing your stuff at home, having the 9 to 5. Like, when do you find time to do your glass? Do you do it at night or in the weekends and stuff?
Yeah, I do a lot of my work at night, and like you said, well, I don't really have a set weekend. I just kind of like do it on my days off.
Okay.
But yeah, whenever I can really fit it in, or if I have like a particular idea in mind and I only have a little bit of time, like I'll make sure that I can get out here. And Tristan's really cool about it. He usually comes and like hangs out with me, and he'll watch a movie, or like sometimes he'll sit with me. I have glasses for him and stuff. So
Nice.
yeah, he's got like his own little thing going on. When the weather's nice, he likes to color with chalk or ride his bike or like mess around with the dog. Like the dog's always in here too. It's kind of like our second living room.
Nice. Yeah, it's killer.
Yeah. He's got a nice like wingback chair and like a recliner.
Hell yeah, fancy.
Yeah.
So what do you find like your focus right now is with your glass? Like, 'cause obviously you're not trying to like build a business or, some kind of mega empire. Your sounds like it's more of like a creative outlet for yourself, since you have a job that you don't really consider a job that you enjoy doing.
Totally. I make really good money, and like how I just like support myself on in the weapons industry, which is like really cool. Because I feel like stress really it hinders my creative process. So like when I'm super fucking stressed out about glass, it's really difficult for me to be functional. Which I still am like trying to figure out how to work through that. Um, but right now, I've actually been having a huge problem with figuring out my MO in glass or finding my own voice. This has been like a constant problem. This is a huge reason, pretty much the only reason why I wanted to sell all my shit, because I just felt like I wasn't going anywhere. Like I couldn't make anything. I didn't have good ideas, whatever. Just a lot of like negativity surrounding that entire thing. So this year I decided that I'm going to use Tristan as my inspiration. I got really well known for making sriracha bottles. And so I'll get back to it eventually, because a lot of people ask me all the time for them and things like that. So like, I hear you, I got you. I promise I'll get back on the hot sauce wagon at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I have to expand my mind in another way, and going back to production is not it. So Tristan is always with me in my shop, usually, pretty much always. And he gives me a lot of really good ideas. And even though he's only 4, going on 5, he's just been like a really big rock for me. I have like anxiety, believe it or not. A lot of it is social, but sometimes my anxiety just kind of comes on when I have to make a decision. I'm really indecisive naturally, and it's gotten worse with age. I don't know why, but especially in glass and being on my own and having this freedom to do whatever I want. That's really scary to me, actually.
Yeah, it's a weird concept for sure.
Yeah, it's totally strange being able to pick whatever color I want, and then there's like 100 different colors that I could pick, and like, oh, like what about this? What about this? So Tristan actually helps me make a lot of decisions, and it's kind of nice that I don't have to think about it. And honestly, he gives me some really good suggestions. So I decided that this year in 2017, every day I'm going to at least try to remember to ask Tristan for an idea to manifest in glass. or I'll just make something with him in mind every day. And I'm just gonna kind of see where that takes me. And so far, I know we're only on like day 3, and I haven't made anything today, but dude, day 1 and 2, like he fucking killed
I
it.
saw. Impressive.
Everyone was like, "Damn, Jay, that thing's awesome,"
Yeah.
and that made me feel really good. Yeah, so
Yeah, because I was wondering where that came from, the inspiration. Because I'm like, oh, a little pufferfish, that thing is badass. But like, all right, so you're in Vegas and pufferfish, and there's no water around you. So where's this coming from? You know, kind of thing. So yeah, it's killer,
yeah.
and it looked great. I mean, you obviously have an idea and concept of how this medium works to be able to get that out there and use some basic tools to make a really. I mean, to me, it was pretty detailed, even like the patterning of this the skin of the fish, if you want to, because pufferfish don't really have
Yeah.
scales. They're kind of weird.
They are, yeah. They're a different family in their own whatever, like little species thing, whatever you
Mhm.
want to call it,
Yeah,
genus. You know, I don't know. I don't remember all that stuff from earth science. I'm trying to get fancy, but yeah,
it's okay.
I actually I learned a lot about them in the process. And Tristan had some good little facts. He is super into ocean life and like sharks, dude. He loves sharks, an insane amount. He knows about pretty much almost every kind of shark you could think of. Goblin sharks, like
Rad.
wobbegong sharks, like hammerhead sharks, great whites, like reef sharks, and he can tell you the difference just by looking at a picture. He'll tell you exactly what it is. It's crazy. Like, so I'm not surprised that the first couple of days were ocean life things.
Hmm.
Coral was day 1, pufferfish he's been asking for, and he finally like said it again. So he found me a picture. I let him pick the picture, and I let him pick the picture of the coral too. And we just kind of like went at it. And he sat out here the whole time. He was watching Harvey Birdman, which like I don't really think that's a kid's show. And but he's cool, you know.
Hmm.
Like I don't think he really picks up on like the bad stuff.
Oh, it's okay. My 9-year-old today is like, you remember Harvey Birdman, Dad? It's so funny you're bringing this up because he totally said the other day, he's like, remember Harvey Birdman? I was like, yeah, I haven't seen that show in forever. Where's this kind of? I think we were talking about like Hawkman or something from DC. I don't remember what the hell how it even came up, but he brought it up, and I was like, that's completely out of left field. So it's kind of funny you're bringing it up now because he was doing the same thing the other day, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of adult, but not really. It's kind of weird. It's a fine
Yeah.
line. It's a weird line.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, Mom, Scooby Doo's on here." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, then I guess it's like okay that you're watching it. You know, I mean, like you're cool." So,
That's funny.
yeah, but yeah. So Tristan's just been, well, Tristan's like always been my number one priority in life, and sometimes I get a lot of heat for it because people don't understand what it is to be a parent, or like in general, even you know, like a young parent. I'm only 28, um, so you know, I'm like pretty young, um, but I don't do things that normal 28-year-olds do because I have a son.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
so he's, you know, it's basically been just like me and him, he and I rather. Sorry, proper
Hey,
English.
whatever. It's good. I
But
say double on whatever. I mean, I won't even go there. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
but yeah, so I feel like it feels really good and really fitting. Like I'm really comfortable with him influencing me so greatly. You know, I guess it's normal.
Well,
He
it's fun too.
influences all other aspects.
Yeah,
So
and he's like got his little brain growing too, so he's got all this fun imagination. But it also sounds like he's pretty fucking smart already, catching on to like understanding genus species of different sharks and stuff, being able to point them out and tell you what they are, and it's pretty rad. I think he's going to be a fun little influence for you. And I'm kind of wondering too. That being said, do you find that your job that you have, your 9 to 5, that is a creative outlet for you also? So a lot of your creative juices are going there, even in a different space. Does that make sense?
um, I don't feel like I totally get what you mean. And like, yes and no. I feel like it's not my creativity that's going there. I feel like it's just my energy that's going there
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not like, I work in the, you know, like I work in weapons, and like, even though I'm not around actual guns all day, just being present in that facility just makes me like have a heightened awareness of things that are going on around me, and you know, like what's happening, and just like the commute, honestly, I know this sounds stupid, but sometimes it's really stressful to drive from like my job, which is in the middle of the strip, to like go pick up my son and then like go pick my son up from school and then bring him home and then like make him dinner and do all this shit, like feed him, bathe him, make sure he's doing his homework, like make sure he's not fucking with the dog, like whatever, you know what I mean? So by the time it's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, sometimes like 10, and I'm like, all right, I finally have time to myself. I'm like, dude, like I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, time to get stoned and get on the couch.
I actually don't smoke anymore.
Oh, well, how about that? Well, never mind.
Yeah, I stopped smoking about a year ago. I just had really like bad anxiety. I don't know why. I sold all my dab rigs. Like I don't have a torch. I actually have to go pick up a banger so I can make someone a XL carb cap and make sure it fits. But I've got a few pieces, like they're just dry pieces in one like bong, like my old school roar. That was like my dream piece. I know it sounds super gay because everyone's all into the super work stuff, but man, I will never forget going into my first head shop and just seeing the roar display. They were so tall and pristine looking.
Oh, yeah,
They
totally.
had all the light shining down. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I want one of those.
Yeah, like the old school, like the real roars, not the import, rip-off, knockoff, generic ones. The real ones were like, it was some sweet stuff.
Yeah, mine. I got mine through a friend, and right before I bought it, I sent a picture of the signature because every roar blower has their own signature. If they were made in Germany, and so I sent a picture to the off to Germany, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no, that's legit. That's legit German roar."
Nice.
So I kept that around. And then I have this like weird Bertoni spoon, and he knows I have it, but it was given to me. He was blowing glass. I think he was doing a demo at a shop, and my old boss was there, and he had like electroformed it, and it's got this like weird like dotted creature with like eyes on it and stuff. And he didn't like it, so he threw it in the trash, and then my boss went and got it, and then he gave it to me like years and years later. So
rad.
so I have this like weird Bertoni spoon.
Hell yeah, he's been one of my favorite artists for a long time.
He's super cool, and he's got nice looking dogs.
Yeah, no, I've been watching his puppies all over the country with everybody else running around with them.
The Pigglesworth clan.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Man, I want one out of the next litter if he has one.
I know. My wife and I we were at that point in time when she first had the first litter. We were both like looking at getting a. I'm so tired. I can't even think what the hell it is. Oh, a little Frenchie.
Is it? Oh yeah, I was gonna say a French bulldog.
Yeah, so we were going between the two, and so I hit Ben up as soon as he posted about her, being pregnant and stuff. And I was like, "Put me on the list, dude." He's like, "Dude, it's already filled." It's like, I was like, oh, shit. All right, keep me in mind for the next round. And then Quill.
Man, I had a Frenchie.
Did you?
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted you.
It's okay. I was gonna say I got to play with one of the puppies though, because Quill had one, and he was in town. I took a class from him like 2 years ago. And he had his little puppy. It was fun to see him.
Yeah, I've seen like the Instagram videos of him. He's cute. I think his name is Escobar.
Yes, there you go. Yep.
I know it's something cocaine related.
Yeah, probably.
Or like,
yeah.
I don't know, I associate it with blow.
Yeah, Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
Yeah, cocaine. Yeah, for sure.
He's a cute dog.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I was kind of thinking earlier too when you're talking about with your job, because I was asking about the whole, creative outlet and stuff. And it seems like you're saying you have like this intense kind of like almost focus because of all the crazy shit going on around you at your job all the time. This awareness you have to have. And glassblowing is exactly that. I mean, you got to have like this intense awareness, kind of subconsciously almost, while you're also being creative in a conscious way. It's such a weird dynamic, And and I wonder too if that has something to do with it, like you don't even want to have, because that energy is being used up at work. You don't want to have to even expel any more of that energy to have any more focus to watch out for burning and cutting yourself or whatever. while you're trying to be creative on top of it. That was the thought I had earlier while you were talking about that. I'm like, oh, maybe that's me.
Totally.
Yeah.
I find myself like making really poor choices in my movements in glass. If I'm tired or just like I don't have the right mentality, like it just totally throws everything off for me. I haven't been like super negligent in the sense that I like burn myself. I haven't really burnt myself that bad, knock on wood, at home, in my home studio yet, but I've like broken a lot of stuff, or I've just been really like lazy, or my moves aren't, in the right order, and so that just like ruins the whole piece,
Mm-hmm.
and just like puts me in a shitty mood sometimes because I'm already like tired, and when I get tired, I'm kind of like cranky. So
Yeah, and that's a good point. Like anybody listen to this, if you're, like, because I know my point myself and other artists I've talked to as well. Like, you get to a certain point where it's like late at night, and that's usually when things go down. That are bad. Unless you've
Mhm.
slept all day and you're a night owl and you're working the night shifts normally. But typically myself, I don't have to. Like yourself. We have kids and family and what have you, and so the night shifts. Like I'll do a full day of my own thing at home and then get to the studio. I mean, literally like 9 o'clock at night, maybe put like 4 hours, 5 hours in. And by the time it's like 1 in the morning and I'm getting tired, I'm like, I know I got to stop right now because I'm going to either break what I'm making or I'm going to hurt myself.
Totally.
So,
Yeah, I feel you. I'm right there with you. Um, I think that I am really glad I have an at-home studio because it's such a luxury to be able to like go inside and like take a little break. Or sometimes I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up at like 3 in the morning and I'll be like, I'm probably not going to go back to sleep anytime soon. So I'll just get up and like blow some glass before I go to my actual job.
heck yeah. So you're
Just
saying,
try to get it in.
yeah, I've done that before too. I think it's killer. And to have that access like that, I don't need more myself, but those I know that have had home studios are the same way. It's like, it's even fun to be able to wake up in the middle of the night with an idea and go out there and do something about it. Not just have to wait.
Yeah,
Super convenient.
definitely.
So
Definitely.
you're saying with your job too is it's not like a Monday through Friday kind of deal. You guys have like a random schedules or
Um, well, it's not, I'm like the exception, because I work directly for the owners of the company.
okay,
So I basically have the luxury of making my own schedule.
nice.
But because I make my own schedule, it's just kind of like it's a blessing definitely, but it's also kind of like a curse because I really like structure, and sometimes structuring myself is not the easiest thing for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I'm like all over the place. Like sometimes I'll go to work at like 5 o'clock at night and like work until the facility closes. Or like sometimes I'll go like super early in the morning, like 7:30. So every day is kind of like a new adventure
Right.
in itself.
Yeah, it's nice having that though. That's killer.
Yeah, it's definitely really nice, and I love my bosses. They're the most amazing people I've ever met. Really, they came from nothing, and they've just built this entire empire. And it's a husband and wife team, like it's a family business, and so they they have taught me so much just from allowing me to work with them and for them. And they've mentored me in a lot of different ways that have also helped me in glass as far as business because man, they're just great business people for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's definitely important skills to have, especially when you can like it's that whole best practices thing, like copying a company that does something well, and you can try and mimic it as close as you possibly can yourself. So
Hmm.
it's cool to have that influence for yourself, for sure. And how long have you been
So
working with those guys for?
I've been working for them since I left the production studio, so for over a year now.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
nice.
been a little bit over a year, maybe like a year and like a few months. So
Hell yeah. So with your glass now, and you're saying with your do in your inspirational days. Do you think like this the sea life stuff? Because to me, like the stuff I've gone through your page and seen your Glasswise, it seems like your sea life work that you've done is like it's on point. I mean, this shit looks really awesome. Do you think that that's kind of like maybe a niche you might find yourself getting into more, kind of go in that direction?
Um, I can't say for sure. I honestly I enjoy it because I know that it excites Tristan,
Mm-hmm.
and just knowing that he is super stoked to open up my kiln with me in the morning before we go to school is like reason enough for me to like make a fucking shark every day. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean? Or
awesome.
like whatever. So so I think like I'll continue to do it as long as it makes him happy, you know, or he has an interest in it. I've had a lot of requests for sharks. Like I started making sharks for Tristan. That was like the first thing he asked me to make. He's like, "Mom, make me a hammerhead shark with a dorsal fin." Yeah, that was his request. I could not forget the dorsal fin.
That's
Um,
funny.
so I made him one, and it looks kind of weird because the tail looks kind of like a goldfish tail because I was kind of like figuring it out. But the ones that followed after, they just like they got better and better, and so yeah, like yes and no. I think I'll continue to do it. Um, I've made a lot of sharks for family members because they think of Tristan when they see a shark.
That's
So
too cool.
yeah, so I think it's kind of like I don't know. I don't really have a definitive answer other than I guess we'll just see what my kid will
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, I'll be curious myself because I've definitely been digging the direction you're going in, and especially now knowing the I guess inspiration behind it. It's pretty badass.
I know that a lot of artists have uh, been encouraging me to pick one thing and stick with it, but and I trust me guys, like I hear you and no disrespect, but like that's just not me as a person. Like I've done so many different things in my life. I've had so many different careers like on total opposite sides of the spectrum. And so picking one thing and doing it forever is so unappealing to me. Like I can understand why like market yourself and make yourself a brand and like all of this shit, but and I mean it's not shit. Like so I don't mean to sound
No,
disrespectful
but I know
about
what
it.
you mean though. I totally, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's just it I guess I have a problem like with commitment.
Well, but also at the same time, it's like talking with Skaz when I had him on. You know, he's talking about he makes his dragons and stuff, and he loves to make them, and they've been getting cleaner and better and better and better as he does them. But he feels
Mhm.
the same way. Like he feels like as an artist, he wants to express himself in a different way, but the dragons are paying his paycheck or his bills in a sense, you know, and that's his living. So it's kind of this double-edged catch-22 kind of gimmick, you know. So it's if you can afford to avoid going in that direction, I'm all about it because you get a chance to explore different things and figure out what it is you're doing. Because again, you know your medium enough to where you can potentially make whatever comes to mind or whatever's inspired, you know, from your son. So it's I think you're in a fortunate, you know, blessed little space to be able to afford again to have the luxury to not have to be a glassblower for a living. You have the you know, it's to me, it's for you, it's a lifestyle.
Mhm.
You know, which is also again why I want to bring you on here because I dig where you are as a person. You know what it is you want to do, and you're doing it. You're not just like trying to make other people happy by doing things. You're doing what it is that you want to do to make yourself and your family happy. And it's I think that's important and crucial. You're not trying to impress anybody or put on a fucking show or anything. You know, you're just doing what you want to do, and if people like it, go for it. And if not, then you don't give a shit. You know, you're gonna still do your own thing.
Totally. Yeah, I feel that. I got a lot of shit. Well, not a lot of shit, but there was definitely some shit said about, you know, you can't really call yourself a glass blower or whatever if you're not paying your bills with it. But like, understand this, you know, like being a mother is first and foremost like my priority and my sole responsibility in life. You know, this child has no other person. Well, I mean, like obviously he does. Like his father,
Mm-hmm.
who's a great guy, by the way. Um, but you know, he depends on his parents to live for everything, and he's actually got like extremely bad food allergies. So I'm like also consciously like stressed out about that. Like he's anaphylactic to peanuts and shellfish, And so, and like he can't have gluten or dairy or eggs or like tree nuts or like, you know, it's just like it's crazy. And you never realize like what things contain that ingredient until you have a kid that cannot have it, like absolutely cannot have it. So I've been like really focused on, and that's like where a lot of my food pictures come from too, is like I've been really focused on like making sure that like my son can eat without dying.
Yeah.
Or like having an allergic reaction, or like having like an eczema outbreak. Cause like, dude, when he was a baby and before we figured it out, he would have like horrible rashes. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. You know, I'm a new mom. Like, this is like a new area in general. And then like he can't tell me because he can't even talk.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, like just Tristan's just been my priority, and having a regular job, like a 9 to 5, to me, there's no shame in that. You know, if you have to go and like fucking feed your kids and pay your mortgage and whatever other bills you have to pay, like fucking do it. You know, get a job at McDonald's. Like I always told myself I was never above getting a job at McDonald's. I would do it for my kid. Like I hope other people would too, you know, but
Yeah,
uh,
totally. I completely agree. I think, right now in this world of our economy and small business people and what have you, it's like I listen to a lot of business podcasts, and a lot of them talk about, the goal is to become self-employed. But I'm always like, well, what if you like your fucking job, but you still want to have a little side business or even a full time, because it's like what I'm doing is full time business. I work full time at Disney and I do this thing full time, so it's like it's crazy hours. But that being said, it's like I don't want to feel guilty because I'm just I'm doing two different. I'm doing a job and a business. I'm not just focusing on my business. And I heard a show the other day, and this guy had a guest on, and she was like, "Just so everybody knows, it is okay that you have a job that you love. There's nothing wrong with going and working for somebody else. It doesn't mean you're a fucking loser or you're not a leader. It just means that you do something that you love to do, and just by chance get paid to do what you're doing. And in your case, it's that, but you're also supporting your son. So, I totally agree. And I always preach with, it's glass artists, when you get started, this shit is not easy to at first, really. I mean, I've been doing this for 18 years almost, and it's still not easy to make a living at it. I see like Carl Termini and some bigger names out there on, talking about it all the time. It's not an easy way to live. So to have a little part-time job or even a full-time job, and you do your glass part-time, and then you slowly work away from the job until you can become full-time glassblower, if that's the route you decide to take. But you shouldn't feel guilty or have naysayers talk shit because you're a quote-unquote glassblower, but you don't do it full-time.
totally. And that was one thing that I was faced with when I had gotten out on my own. And there were people telling me like, oh, you know, when I was your age, like I was faced with this decision to be an artist, or like, and I had like a bunch of other shit going on. And I'm just like, okay, well, and that's cool, you know, like I'm not discrediting you for making those decisions or choosing that path, but like understand like that's not my path, you know? So
Exactly. Well said. Yep.
yeah. And Carl, by the way, Carl, he makes some good food too.
Oh,
And
dude.
dude, it's vegan.
Yeah, so that's why that's like I guess Freudianly brought him up now, because I was wanting to talk about that. So, yeah, so when I had Carl on here, he was my first guest that I had, where I was like just listening to him talk and so intrigued by the things he was talking about. I actually like lost where I was in my kind of like my role of my questions and keeping the show going. Like I had to pause a couple times and like get my head together, because I was just like, he's an intriguing dude, And the more I got to know him, and then even off the show and on through glass and everything else, he's just a super cool guy. And then I came across your feed. I'm like, oh, here's like a female perspective of what he's kind of doing, because he's all about like showing what it's like to be an artist full time, the struggles and the wins, but also the lifestyle you can live, and being healthy and fit and growing your own food potentially, like all this stuff. And then I see you come across, and you're in the gym, you're working out, you're cooking awesome food, you're a mom, you're a glass artist. There's all these things that you're doing that were also intriguing to me. So yeah, so to go there, so like your focus besides your kid and your glass and your job is also your health, is obviously seems pretty important to you.
Totally.
Has that always been something that you've been doing since back in the day when you were an athlete? Is that kind of where that all comes from?
Yeah, it definitely stemmed from just like being healthy in general and like lifting weights and stuff for organized sports. And then obviously in the military, like I had to go through basic training and like run and do all of that. And it continued on because we had to take mandatory PT tests every year for the Air Force. And then when I got out, I kind of like fell off a little bit. But like it wasn't too bad. Like I've never been like super obese. I don't know if it's just because I'm Asian or because like mentally I kind of like keep myself in check a little bit. But after I had my son, I was like probably the heaviest I had ever been, which was only like 145 pounds. And I'm like 5'6", so it's not bad. Like like I was all right, but dude, one thing I always told myself, and this probably sounds shallow as fuck, but I always told myself, even when I thought I was never going to have a kid, I always said I was going to be a MILF. That was a goal. I was never just going to let myself go. So after I had Tristan, I kind of like had a period of time where I didn't really go to the gym or anything. A lot of it was because it was really difficult for me to do with a newborn. Like I know now everyone on Instagram who has kids or whatever, they make it seem like it's not that hard, and like I get it, but dude, I like really didn't know what I was doing. Like
Nobody does. I know. I hate that
mother.
shit. Yeah, no, totally. I agree. There's no book that goes. Sure, there's what to expect when you're expecting bullshit, but like, yeah, there's no written guide. Yeah.
I read it and it's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Totally.
So I was like, I kind of like didn't really do anything his first like year and a half of life. And then after I was like, all right, dude, I have to get my shit together. So I started running every day. I was running like 7 or 8 miles a day. Yeah, I was like really hardcore about it. And I got down to 97 pounds and I looked like super unhealthy. Even though I was like eating a lot and stuff like that, it was just because I was distance running.
Yeah.
And then after I did a year of that and like got down to like 97 pounds, I was like, man, I gotta put some weight on me. So I started lifting and doing different forms of cardio. So now I'm trying to like get a booty, which is almost
I have
impossible
seen.
for an Asian girl. Let me just tell you, I can't do enough squats to like help that along. So
well, in my opinion, it's looking pretty good so far. So keep it up.
Thank you. I'm trying to put the peach emoji to shame.
Yeah,
so.
dude, get her done. I think it's so funny.
But yeah, I've just been trying to really like sculpt my body now, I guess if that makes any sense. Like
Totally,
put on muscle where I think I need it.
Yeah.
And like just kind of, I don't know, I have a specific body goal in mind. And I also like to get stronger. Like it's really satisfying for me to be able to lift heavier weights every week. And just, like see the change over time. So
Yeah, it's good though because you're setting goals for yourself and you're accomplishing them, and they're small goals, like you're saying. Every week you're increasing your strength, so it feels good to accomplish those little small goals. It's like waking up in the morning and making your bed. It's like, okay, I did something today, and I accomplished a goal, even though it's a small little stupid thing.
totally. And it's not even stupid. Like
No, not at all. I agree.
I never wanted to be the mom that can't like run around or like hang with their kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I want to be able to go and ride a bike with Tristan, or like, dude, he runs so fast. He's crazy fast and has an insane amount of energy. And so I feel like it's only fair for me to be able to keep up with him, because otherwise I just get annoyed. And it's happened like when I'm tired, as a parent, you know how it is. Like you get tired and you're like, man, I don't want to deal with your ass right now, but I have to.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still cranky. So I try to avoid that. And part of that is like, being in shape and working out and being able to throw him around and play tag with him. And we went to a trampoline park and jumped for like an hour the other day.
Rad.
And they were like, oh man.
I've always wanted to go to one.
He's
They
so
look like
funny.
fun.
Oh, it's so cool. He jumps really high, but he gets pissed at me when I jump on the same like trampoline as him, because it'll make him jump higher, and he doesn't like that. So he gets pissed. So I'm not allowed to jump on the same square as him. But it was so funny. He got like all these kids to gang up on me in the dodgeball area of the trampoline place. And so there's like five little kids just like sprinting after me with these balls, just like trying to hit me. And I nailed every single one of their little asses. Fuck that. They're not bringing me down. I don't care if they're 4 years old.
Exactly.
I was nailing some of those kids in the fucking face, too.
I
And that
love it.
shit was awesome.
I just think going back to dodgeball and trampolines is fucking amazing. My
Dude,
God.
it's so cool. Yeah, if you ever come here, or you should see if they have one in Orlando. I'm
Well,
surprised they don't.
Well, we have a lot in the, like because I don't actually live in Orlando. I'm about an hour and a half west. I'm just like west of Tampa.
Okay.
But this area, yeah, we've got them. We definitely have. There's two different facilities that they have that they're like jump rooms, or I don't know what the hell it's called, but yeah, they have those. We have a lot of that stuff opening up now, like old warehouses that are getting taken over, and we just had a new one opened up. That's a whole rock wall climbing facility, and it's like, like I think like 4 or 5 story building that the things go all the way onto the ceiling, so you can do like these free hanging shit. It's freaking awesome stuff.
Oh, dude, that's honestly, that sounds kind of scary, but still awesome.
Yeah, we got one of those skydiving places, the tubes you can go into and kind of pretend you're skydiving and that kind of shit. It's kind of a lot of fun things here like that. I don't do myself personally, but I definitely want to.
There's this guy I know, we call him Red Sloth, and he was too fat to go in it. So every time someone brings
Oh my
one of
God.
those things up, I think of this guy that we call Red Sloth, and he's legitimately like a red sloth in a human form. He's got bright red hair, and he is just a big guy, and I just picture him trying to go in one of those tubes and not going anywhere.
Jesus.
Just stagnant.
Yeah. That is so funny. Holy shit.
It's so random.
Yeah, it is, but that's what this is all about. Whatever. Like I could sit here and talk shop all day, but it's like, we're also all about glass all the fucking time. It's like we got to start having conversations about our life and not just being in the studio, It's like it's fun just to shoot the shit.
I feel like you can learn a lot and gain a lot of inspiration from people just talking to them about their lives. Like, not everyone has the same journey, and that's what kind of makes it interesting. But the fact that we all have this one thing in common, which is a huge part of our lives, makes it really interesting. It's been really fun for me to get to know people, and I've met a lot of really cool people along the way. So I'm super, super blessed to have glass in my life, even if it's not a full-time gig.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's a beautiful thing. It's such an interesting occurrence that's happened in our society, and just it's worldwide now. But in the States and then Canada, it's growing. I mean, you see the Japan growth, and I mean it's taken over the world. And these little small communities and towns of little glass studios popping up, and I love it. It's just so neat to see, and it's no longer just this small community in our country. It's now this huge international thing going on. It's mind blowing. I'm kind of curious to see like where it's going to be in 10 years.
So speaking of international, am I allowed to ask you a question?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I want to hear the story about South Korea and Kamsamida.
Oh yeah. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, so for I think for about 4 months, maybe 5 months, South Korea was the third largest download country of the show, which I was like, what the hell? I don't know if it's Americans over there or South Koreans listening to the show. And I've reached out and tried finding out, and I know I can go through iTunes. Like every country has their own iTunes, which is the craziest thing ever. So I can only see right now reviews and stuff for the U.S. iTunes, or maybe North America, I think is how it is. Because there's some Canadians on there too. So, long story short, I haven't had a chance to go on there and find out where South Korea is in the iTunes area of the world. But as a thank you to them, I learned how to say thank you in South Korean, and I said it to myself like 20 fucking times, making sure I said it right, because I'm not like cussing them out, or something. Because it's like you can just change a syllable just the right way, and it's like the wrong word. Like being in Mexico over at Epcot, I'm learning more and more Spanish being in there, so I'm like really delicate with when I say certain things. So that being said, I was pretty pumped to find out, how to say it properly, and then I said it on the show, and yeah, when we brought it up, and you said you had a crazy story about it too. But it's just, I don't know, it's a fun concept to think that this such as broad, huge community listening to the show, and then to have South Korea out of all places be the number 3 downloading country. It was kind of crazy.
I know. There's another female glassblower who is also South Korean, and I haven't really gotten a chance to talk to her, but I think her name is Yushin. I don't know how to say her first name properly. Yushin Choi.
Okay. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just asked her. I saw a picture of her finally, and I was like, "Hey, are you Korean also?" She's like, "Yeah, totally." And I was like, oh man, that's awesome that there's another female Korean glassblower out there. I don't know if there's any more, but
I don't know. I need to find out. I got to find out how to access the iTunes from different countries, because I'm sure that there's people that are listening to here that are actually from South Korea listening to the show. Just because I can look at the shows, I can look at like the geographical stats, like so it'll say South Korea, and then I can go to individual episodes, and it can break it down in the country to like the different areas of the country where it's being listened to like little small towns or communities or whatever, the districts or whatever they're called in different countries. It's pretty wild to see exactly where it's being listened to, because like I look down at Australia, and then all of a sudden it's like it breaks it off to New Guinea as like a separate thing. Yeah, it's like I still need to do it, because the image I get for the world map, they use this green shaded kind of color, so like the darker it is, the more listens you have in that country. And you can go around with the mouse and see, like, it'll show you literally every country in the world. You can go over it with the mouse arrow, and it'll pop up a number of how many listens you have or downloads. And it's crazy. I mean, just all through South Africa into, it's pretty wild. Afghanistan, places you wouldn't even think about that would be listening to this. It's pretty neat.
that's crazy. That's pretty wild that you can reach so many different areas of the world, and that people actually listen. You know what I mean? They're interested in glass. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. It's a blessing for sure. I think it just started raining outside. Nice.
That I did look at the weather channel, and you guys are supposed to get some rain. Hopefully it'll pass before I get down there.
Yeah, we have rain Saturday, and then Sunday cold front, and then clear.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's not too crazy, and I'll get some sunshine, because dude, it's so cold. I feel like such a baby crying about 55 degrees, but
yeah, I know. I bust my scarves out when it's 55 degrees, so then I made fun of. Yeah, it is. Like I'm in my shorts and a t-shirt right now in my garage, and I'm sweating. So yeah, it's fucking crazy. Whatever. The world's going to hell in a handbasket, or it's actually doing really fucking good, and we're all just crazy. I don't really know which one it is, but
Oh, I know, right? Dude, everyone's been this year's just been a weird. 2016 was a weird ass year.
Wasn't it crazy? Right? I know. Like it was awesome
weird.
and just fucking weird. I'm glad it's over, but man, it was weird.
Yeah, people were kind of losing it, I think, by the end.
Yeah, definitely. And I still think it's going to get, I don't want to get political, because I just don't want to, but I still think it's so odd when our president or future president here is all about communicating to people and big business and the people of our country through fucking Twitter, through like this, 30 or 70 character sentence. And to be able to have the gumption to be able to say what you have to say in that small little amount of space and actually get your point across, and then actually make things happen in a positive manner. Like I just heard today that Ford's pulling out of Mexico. Like they're going to go down there and build their smaller cars down there and pull out of Detroit. Mm-hmm. But now I guess through a tweet that Trump did, they decided not to, and now they're back here and they're going to stay in Detroit.
Huh.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm sure there's something,
to Twitter. I'm not a tweeter.
I'm not really either. Like I have things linked to it, like my Instagram is, so I can post things in many areas. But yeah, it's I don't know, it's weird. I'm sure there's a lot of crazy shit going on behind the scenes that we'll never know about. But I just think it's just a strange dynamic in technology and the way our culture's gone. You'll know about somebody dying or a major catastrophe through fucking Twitter before anything else. It's crazy.
Oh, totally. I know. And like there's a lot of false information that gets spread around about politics and like the government and just like I don't know, I guess everything in general through social media. But the one thing that I really only gave a shit about this election was the Second Amendment.
Yeah, totally.
Naturally, like
Right.
naturally, like I really only gave a shit about guns because, well, you know,
Yeah.
I just don't want to have someone try to like come in and tell me that they're going to confiscate my weapons and stuff. Like, and I actually just want to take a second to encourage all of you to go out and purchase a firearm because it's your right as an American citizen. You should go and do so.
Hell yeah. And take a safety course so you know how to use the son bitch.
Oh
So,
yeah, I mean, don't just like don't just be going to get handguns and rifles and not know your laws. Like definitely study up on your laws and stuff.
yeah, exactly.
That's key. That's key. You can't just, it's not the Wild West. Sometimes it would be cool if it was.
Oh, so weird. My radar.
Oh,
Yeah, that was my radar. Paul Delgado just let us all know that we have precipitation in the area.
precipitation.
Like it's a major thing coming. Oh my God, we've got rain. It's so weird. Like my phone's on silent and everything, and all of a sudden the weatherman's talking on my phone. So weird.
That actually kind of startled. Are you gonna edit that out?
No, I'll leave it in. It was kind of funny
Okay.
because I was doing when I was talking to Blitzkrieg guy, I was doing some bong rips. He's like, "You doing bong rips, dude?" I was like, "Yeah, can you hear that?" And usually I'll like edit myself out smoking on the show, and he's like, "You better leave that in there after we got off the air." And I was like, "All right, I'll leave it in there." So I did, and yeah, so it's kind of like I don't want to be that guy being a douchebag on the show, but there's some things I'm gonna leave in just because it's transparency and honesty, and it's me, whatever.
Well, it is your show. I feel like you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, I can, and I do, but with respect, I guess in a sense, for my elders.
Noted.
Yes.
Jakey's cool. I actually listened to a little bit of his show, not too much because I didn't want to like psych myself out before I did this, but I Jakey's awesome and his dog Genevieve. I
Hmm.
love that dog. Jakey's cool though.
Yeah, he's a funny guy. Super funny.
Yeah. He makes a lot of great work. I've really been liking the recyclers that he put out just before the end of this past year.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, those Encalmos he was doing.
Oh man,
Yeah,
those are
they
so
gorgeous.
clean.
Yeah, I know.
I
Yeah.
was talking to him and he was in the middle of one and he said that he'd already put in like 2 days, like 3 days worth of work on one. And he was just about to finish it up and he was like, oh man, I hope it lives.
Yeah. Shh.
And it did. And it was awesome.
Yeah, it is super awesome. And I think too, like talking, bringing you on here, and the guests I brought in, it's like I'm all about bringing like the huge names in our industry. Don't get me wrong, because I not only to share their story, but to get to know them myself as well. But like, I'm all about bringing you on and other personalities because y'all have personalities and have this amazing story, and you're artists and you have things that are fun to share. And I think it's cool that our glass that we all have in common, it gives exposure to all these unique personalities that we have in our community that may or may not be seen otherwise. It's almost like American Idol when you have these amazing singers that come on the show, whatever you want to feel about the show, but still these people are getting a stage to perform and show their thing that they've done for their whole life off, and I think the glass is kind of the same thing for us. It gets to kind of show this awesome personality in our community, and they're all so different on top of it.
I know. I feel so honored to be on your show. I was like, man, really? Because I'm like, in the scheme of things, I'm just a nobody. People just know me as this Asian girl with dreads that makes a lot of food and like blows glass, but has like a fucking arsenal in her house. Like,
Well, now they know
that's
lots
pretty
more
much
about
it.
you, which is why I wanted to bring you on because it's
Now they
fun.
know that I'm a U.S. military killer. No,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
you're a badass for sure. I think that's gonna be the title of your show for sure.
No, it's cool though. It's been really really nice to have a lot of be able to act on a lot of different interests, including guns. Like I I love guns and weapons and knives. Like I have 3 different kinds of knives sitting in my bench right now, and usually I have my Glock in there too. I'm a real big Glock fan. I'm a Glock fanatic or whatever, but yeah, it's real cool that people, especially social media, can like people are interested in the same things that I'm interested in,
Mm-hmm.
and we can instantly be connected in that way. Like, and someone was just telling me the other day that they think it's so cool that I have like a wide variety of stuff on my page because it's not just like me trying to market myself as a glass artist. To be honest, like I really don't sell my glass like that. I don't go to shops or anything. I just make some shit and make pipes because I want to, or like my friend wants a pipe, or whatever. Or Tristan wants some weird animal, or I don't know, but yeah, it's cool. I've got like the people who are really prominent in the weapons industry on my page that know I make pipes on the side, and they're like cool with
All right.
it.
Yeah, it's killer. Or you have like these buff, sexy guys with like 10 packs that are following you too that are like, hey, man, make me this.
Dude, some of those guys, man, they're fucking lookers. I'm like, how do you get abs like that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That was my goal for being 40. Like I'm down like 35 pounds this year. So like by 40, I got pretty close to having a visible six pack. And then December hit, and I started doing this. The guys I work out with, we did this December challenge where it was like every day we're doing something. And then I got to be like second week of December, and I got like 3 colds this month, and they all kicked my ass. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna have some chocolate and some sugar and some bad things for me and enjoy it, because come January, when I'm not sick anymore, kind of thing. So yeah, I'm definitely ready to
I
kick
feel
it back in
you.
gear.
It's all a process though. It's all a journey. So you got to let yourself have those like cheat days. I mean, like realistically, today I came home from the gym after I burnt like, I don't know, maybe like 1,500 calories, and then I started binge eating this like dessert I made. I made 7 layer bars.
Mm.
And so, yeah, but like they're paleo because I have to still be somewhat healthy.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So they're paleo and vegan, and I just ate like a quarter of a pie dish
Nice.
of it.
Well, I do the same shit. Like I use the MyFitnessPal app on my phone, so I can really keep track of like all my macros and all my everything for the day that I gotta stay within. And at the end of the day, if I still have like, because most of my days I'm calorie deficient, so I'll have like 500 to 700 calories just sitting there that I could do whatever the fuck I want to do with. Sometimes I do
Mhm.
nothing. I'll do push-ups and drink water and go to bed instead, or I'll have like a Three Musketeers. And some of the tricks I've been finding, like little hacks, I guess per se, because my wife knows I like to eat carbs and trying to avoid flour and gluten and stuff. So I've been doing like a lot
Mhm.
of protein pancakes, right? So, and they're all flour free. I use quinoa and oatmeal, like
Mhm.
stone oats, and then I'll throw like 2 scoops of my protein powder in there, and then like eggs and some different things like that too. But I got a waffle
Mhm.
maker for Christmas, and I've been wanting a waffle maker for a while now. So like tonight we were all like wanting chocolate, and Brit's like, "What are we having for dessert?" And I'm like, "Walgreens," And she's like, "How are we gonna eat a store for dessert?" Being a smart ass. So I could have walked down or drove my car or whatever and played Pokemon along the way as my excuse to go there. And I was like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna go there. I'm just gonna make some waffles and make some healthy protein fucking waffles." And we had some cocoa powder in the freezer, so I threw a little bit of cocoa powder in there to give them some chocolate flavor, and they were amazing. I think they were a little too thin, so they got kind of weird when I made them. But
Mhm.
that's the kind of shit I like to do. Like I like to experiment and make things that are carbs or would be quote unquote, something you would have on a cheat day, but they're like super packed with protein, so they're good to eat.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much key in like a diet is just like cheating your brain, cheating your mind to think that, oh yeah, like this is really not that healthy, but in all actuality, it's pretty decent. So you don't hate yourself the day after.
Yeah, exactly. And it's amazing if you just like keep track of that shit and like actually study and find out how much you're having of what you're having. It's amazing to find out when you're eating healthy that this really isn't that bad for you. Having like yogurt, some berries, and whatever else in there. Like one of the guys in our group, he does desserts, and he posts a lot of like super healthy that are sugar free, more or less, desserts, and he did one that was just like frozen bananas, and it was like frozen bananas and bee pollen and shredded coconut, and shredded like cacao, like actual like I guess cocoa nibs basically.
Oh yeah, the cacao nibs or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it was like the mac, like everything, the glycemic level was really low on it, like everything was like super on point, super healthy. And I made it one night, and I was like, oh my god, I could do so much with this. Adding like sun butter to it, or almond butter, or just different things like that to really spice it up even more so. Because like I love breakfast and I love desserts, and I could eat both of those all fucking day until I'm 500 pounds type of thing. So I'm glad I can now find hacks and different ways of going about it where I can still hit that sweet tooth and then also have it a healthy sweet tooth.
I was just talking to someone about making breakfast for dinner. I love doing that. Breakfast is good any time of day. Like
Yeah,
pancakes, sausage, bacon. I love bacon. I make a lot of pork belly instead of bacon because bacon's like cured and hella salty.
mm-hmm.
And I don't really like to consume a lot of sodium. So, because, I like to stay lean or whatever. And so, I was like, man, I could have breakfast all the time. They're like, well, I can't. I can only have it like, and I'm like, well, you kind of suck though. Breakfast is still good all the time.
I
Otherwise,
know.
Denny's wouldn't be open 24 hours a day or like IHOP or anything.
Yeah, that's a place I haven't been in years.
Dude, me either. I can't stomach it anymore. The whole like gluten thing. I'll get fucking fat if I eat gluten. That's, to be honest, like that's pretty much it. When I found out Tristan had food allergies, I also just started eating the way that he did, except I don't eat peanut butter because I'm scared that he'll like die if I
Mm-hmm.
breathe on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I really don't eat a lot of shellfish anyway to begin with. Like sometimes I'll have shrimp every once in a while. But like, or like at least I won't cook it at my house when he's around. But yeah, after I found out he had food allergies, naturally, I think I just kind of like shifted how I ate to out of convenience and because I didn't want him to get into it on accident. And so it just worked out for both of us. So
Heck yeah, my wife has a lot of those same issues. She's allergic to peanuts and all kind of crazy shit. So I only will eat that stuff if I'm not gonna be
so
home for a couple of
scary.
days. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. Like I remember the first time he ate a peanut, I probably should have brought him to the ER, but I didn't. I just gave him some Benadryl and then he was fine. But holy shit, that was really scary. I never gave him a peanut after that.
Yeah, it sucks,
Took
right?
him
Like,
right to the allergy doctor.
do you have like an EpiPen and stuff?
hmm
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yep,
important.
he actually just went to the allergy doctor in December and got his. That's like the only doctor that I bring him to because I absolutely believe in him going and getting his EpiPen and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't bring him to like a regular doctor. Like he doesn't get vaccinated or anything. So he went and had his checkup, and of course, like he's an Asian kid, so he's got like this giant fucking head. Like he's got a huge head and like a super super thin neck. Like we call it a worm neck. And it's for me. He got it for me because his dad has like a giant head too, but like he's a big ass. Like he's also Korean, like 100%, and was adopted, which is crazy. But yeah, like so his dad's like this huge like Korean dude, like super super ripped and like big and tall. And then here's Tristan who has like this giant head from his dad and like my tiny ass neck, and it looks like he's just a bobblehead.
Yeah,
And his
totally.
like body's really thin. He like hasn't filled out. He's like all gangly looking. And the doctor was like, "Do you think that he has a problem like gaining weight?" And I'm like, "Well, like I really don't know what you want me to say. Like he's Korean, and you know how those kids are. Like they're either super fucking fat or they're like pretty skinny and like generally healthy, but."
Yeah,
Dude,
that's too funny.
that kid will eat a pancake, like a 10-inch pancake, no problem, with like 4 sausages on the side.
Jesus.
Dude, he houses down food. It's crazy. Like, I don't know if you've seen the pictures on my Instagram or like sometimes I'll take those stupid like videos and like I'll flip giant pancakes that are like bigger than my hand. They're like 10-inch pancakes. And dude, he'll eat a whole one
That's awesome.
every day for like 3 days.
He'll probably end up being like the ugly duckling. He'll turn out to be like this big, gorgeous South Korean, awesome kid, man, stud guy, kung fu fighter, scientist.
It's funny you say that because that's how his dad was. Like his dad has some goofy ass pictures,
Mm,
like super skinny in his senior picture, like 145 pounds
wow.
and like 5'11, yeah. And he's just like awkward as fuck. And then he was actually he joined the Marines right after high school, so he's also a veteran. And he is a scout. Well, yeah, he was a scout sniper in the Marines, so he's like pretty hardcore, and he just blew the fuck up. Now he's like pushing 200. He like I think he deadlifts like max like 355. Like he's just
Hmm.
like a beast. So hopefully he won't stay like thin and weird. I mean, if he does, it's cool. I'll still love him, but every I feel like every mom wants their son to be like an alpha a
Yeah.
little bit. Maybe
Yeah.
that's just me. But I hope that he'll at least put on some weight and his doctors will stop bothering me about it.
Right. I can't feed him enough pancakes. Leave me alone, guys.
I know, like, dude, I'm sorry. He eats a lot. He just has a fast metabolism.
Well, he seems like he's pretty active too. Not like hyperactive active, but he's just an active kid too.
Yeah, he's really into like sports, I guess. Like not he we don't have him in organized sports yet, but he has expressed to me multiple times that when he's old enough, he would like to go to taekwondo, which is cool because it's the national sport of our people,
Hmm.
and even though his dad and I were both adopted from South Korea, we still like to really uh, educate him on our culture. Like we both have Korean names. So like Jay is actually like my like Korean name, like Jae Lim. That was my Korean name when I was adopted, like before I came over to America.
Okay, cool.
So
Nice.
so like for his first birthday and like really for every birthday, um, we follow like Korean tradition. Like his first birthday, he had to dress in like this special outfit, and it's like made of silk, and it was made and bought from Korea. And he had to like pick an object. There's like 5 objects you set out. One's like food, money, a book, a pen, and then I think like some kind of art, like a paintbrush or something like that. And so he had to pick one of them. I don't know what one he picked though. I'm such a bad parent. I think he picked food.
Huh. Well, then there you go. He's gonna be a beast.
I think it just means that like he'll never be in a position where he'll go hungry.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds
I think
awesome.
that's like the meaning of it. But
Huh.
yeah, so we try to instill Korean Korean values and traditions into him. So
Yeah, it sounds like he's gonna be a well-rounded kid, being exposed to so much variety of stuff. It's pretty cool.
get the spice of life.
Yeah, I'd say so. Hell yeah, little sriracha.
Dude, I know he was actually really funny about me making sriracha bottles. He calls them spices. He
Nice.
doesn't call them sriracha. So he's like, "Oh, are you making spices out of glass?" And I'm like, but he's cool. He can identify with it. Like he knows that I put it on everything, and he knows that he doesn't want me to put it on his thumb because like sometimes he'll still suck his thumb. So
Mm.
I always tell him I'm gonna put hot sauce on it. He doesn't like that.
Yeah, that's a great thing to break kids from sucking on their thumbs.
I feel like that's kind of mean though. But
Yeah,
I don't know what else to do.
it's you got to do what you got to do. It doesn't. It's not gonna kill them, so it's not really mean. It's just Pavlov's dog whole bullshit. Just conditioning him. Because like my mom with my sister, she used to get this like nail polish stuff that she would paint on her fingernails that had like this really bitter, acidy kind of taste to it. And it wasn't nail polish; it was made for like anti thumb sucking basically.
Hmm.
So and then that didn't work, so she had to get like a mouth guard that had like spikes in it, So
Oh God.
yeah, totally. This is like back when you had nuns cracking your hands with rulers and shit, you know. Back when we had to walk up both ways uphill in the snow barefoot, you know, before cell
Man,
phones and remote controls.
I'm really glad I never got hit in school. I don't know how I would take that. I
I
probably would just take it, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
I avoided it at all costs, whenever I could. I had some friends though that didn't give a shit. We had the paddle with the holes in it. Basically, I went to a Catholic elementary school, and the nuns that ran the place were like that. Yeah, they were vicious.
Dude, that's crazy.
Hmm.
That's insane.
Yeah, not anymore though. I guess they would get arrested for child abuse anymore doing that shit, which is fucking stupid. But whatever. It's a whole nother topic for another day.
I know. I feel like we veer away from glass a lot on this interview. It's
Yeah.
okay though.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, thanks to those who are still listening to the show. Hanging
I know.
on.
I know. Are there any more glass questions that you have? I guess we should probably get it's a good time to get back into it.
It's so funny. Well, I think it's actually a great time for us to take a break to thank our sponsors, and then we'll come back and we will crash the kiln.
Totally.
All right, cool. This segment of the Wise Guy Radio Show is brought to you by Zen Glass Studios. Located in the heart of St. Petersburg, Florida, Zen Glass has a wide range of offerings to choose from. Their menu includes one-on-one or group classes in their hot shop or flameworking studio, create your own wine glass, and so much more. If you're a traveling artist, they even have a space to rent that you can temporarily call home. With over 50 years of combined experience, Zen Glass can help you fine-tune your techniques, whether you're a novice or advanced glass artist. For their calendar of events, including info about their Third Thursday studio jams, you can contact Zen at zenglass.com. That's zenglass.com. All right, we're back. So now we can transition into some more glass talk. So the Crash in the Kiln round consists of 7 questions, and you can give me a 30 to 60-second answer or expound upon them like this entire conversation's gone. And, as everybody does. And the first question I always like to ask is if there's any living glass artist that you had not yet worked with, and being, somewhat new to the community, I'm sure there's tons, but I'm just still curious, what living glass artist would you like to work with, and who is it and why?
Do I have to pick one?
No, you can pick many. Sure.
Okay. So I'll make it quick, I promise. So the first one is my friend Pogo. He's up for glass artist or like new up and coming artist for the age awards. And Pogo's been like down with me since day one, like since I was a nobody making production. He has always been like super supportive, and I know like I would be comfortable working with him because we're already like friends. And yeah, so okay, so there's that. And then I think the second person that I would want to blow glass with that's living would be Cameron Burns, because I've been super into line work lately, and everybody knows that Cameron Burns is like the fucking man when it comes to line work. Yeah, and cadmiums, like I love working cads. And we also both work on the same torch, a Herbie 40 millimeter. So it would be really interesting to see how he works his torch. Like I feel like I would just learn a lot about the Herbie, and obviously like line work and things like that in general. So
Heck yeah.
for sure.
Awesome. So what are your top 5 favorite colors in glass?
Oh God, top 5. The first one is definitely experimental green. I know a lot of people hate that one because it's kind of like touch and go, but dude, yeah, when you work it right, it's amazing. Yeah. I love the effects. Second one would be Blue Stardust. Just because, bitches love sparkles. Let's see. Third, I would have to say I'm probably going to be real boring because I like the classics. I don't really like the hypey stuff. Mostly because I don't like to fight people on the internet for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like red orange crayon or orange red crayon glass alchemy. That's what I made sriracha bottles out of, and I just find it really satisfying to work cadmiums for some reason. Like I know it's more difficult, but they just look so nice. Um, so there's that. Second one, I would have to say also um, an opaque color, Egyptian white sand. That's probably my favorite. My favorite white. It's not a pure like star white, but
Mm-hmm.
it's nice. It's like a nice neutral. You can do a lot with it. You can still layer color over it, and it looks really good. Okay, so number five. Oh man. Let's see. I don't know. I think I would have to say. Oh, this one's hard. Probably amber purple
Cool.
because you can do a lot with it. You like layering it over black. Whoever told me that, I totally forgot who, but oh, man, one of the best things that anyone's ever told me.
Yeah,
I
I
was
love it.
amazed by it. Totally amazed.
Yeah, it looks
But
awesome
yeah.
over the Chinese blue, the brilliant blue that they have, like the darker blues that they have. The amber purple over that looks rad just because you get that transparency in the cobalts through the light, and then like it's stable and it makes that amber purple pop.
Totally. I love the way it strikes out in the kiln, and I've never tried that combination. I'll have to try it because I do love layering color quite a bit.
Yeah, give it a try for sure. Amber purple over white too is always a good go-to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The whole serendipity jazz.
Dude, I love serendipity. Yeah, that's a good combo.
Mm-hmm. So if you could describe the sound of glass cracking in one word, what is it?
Motivational.
Cool. That's new. I dig it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one. You've had so many fucking bosses on before me. I'm surprised they're not like,
Yeah. Yeah. So in the studio, do you watch TV, listen to the radio, or do you do both?
Combination of both for sure.
Cool. What do you like watch movies and stuff? Because I know you were saying before you guys have like Tristan will be watching movies with you and stuff in there.
Oh yeah. Sometimes we'll watch movies. Sometimes we'll watch. Honestly, we like to watch Metalocalypse. That's really what we've been
Nice.
watching a lot. Yeah, Harvey Birdman, Adventure Time, like old school Batman, old school DC, all the stuff from like the '90s. He kind of likes the Jetsons a little bit. He's like starting to get into that. But
Heck yeah.
yeah, he watches Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
Yeah.
They're my favorites.
Oh, you like Ninja Turtles too?
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, I growing up with them, like the comic books even from back in the day when they first got started and stuff. My cousin Brian got me really into them, and then there were some of the first like, I guess like newer cartoon characters I was drawing because I was always drawing like the comics and stuff, like the comic strips, like Charlie Brown and different things. Garfield was a real big one, and then got into more of the comic books, and they were like one of the first series of comic books I got into as a kid. Always enjoyed.
Yeah, it's a pretty good show.
Yeah, it's pretty fun shit. A little cheesy, but it's fun.
Yeah, he's more into like the old school movies where it's actual guys in costumes and
Mm-hmm.
Shredder's like an actual person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, at least he likes the cool version though.
Hell yeah. That's too funny. So do you have any glass blowing themed tattoos?
I do not. I have a lot of tattoos, but no glass blowing tattoos.
Do you think you'll get one day?
I probably just because I'm at the point where I have so many already, I just don't care. Like, you know what I mean? I have my knuckles tattooed and stuff, so it's pretty much like a done deal.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Yeah. Job stoppers.
Yeah, no, like with my Disney gig, I got to wear long sleeves. With myself, it's just because of my sleeves that I have.
Oh, you have full sleeves or half sleeves?
They're half, yeah. They're down on my just past my elbow on my left arm, which sucks. Because I was gonna get some shirts tailored that were short sleeve shirts, and then just use some of that whatever that body cover paint makeup shit is, Derma blend or something like that, to cover up the areas that were exposed. But I was like, fuck it, just roll my sleeves up a little bit.
Yeah, it must get hot though.
There are days because I'm sometimes wearing I'm always wearing a vest, but also sometimes I'm wearing my bow tie, and so it depends on the day and the temperature outside and my walk in and how long it takes me to cool down. But I've got a fan in front of me that blows on me the whole time. So, and I'm also in the AC. So.
Oh, there you go. You're all set then.
Yeah, I'm spoiled.
Just go ahead and say it.
Yeah, I can admit it. I am spoiled rotten. For sure. So let's see. We got the glass tattoo question. Oh, yeah. So, well, you said you haven't burnt yourself bad yet, but what is your worst injury in the studio?
I burnt myself pretty bad one time. It was when I was in the production shop. And it was when I was really big into doing dot work. And I don't really know what happened. It's kind of all of a blur. I think it was just because I was so focused on laying these dots down. And I was like melting it in and melting it in, and then I just like stuck my whole finger in the torch. I don't know why, or I don't really know how, but my nail got like super brittle, and I actually still have like a scar, but it burnt like half of my finger, like the top half of my finger, from like that first knuckle, I guess, in the middle, all the way up to my nail. That one was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. Those are the worst. I think the nail beds are like some of the worst areas to burn yourself, and also like you're saying with your knuckles, because it's so hard to keep your fingers straight unless you have like a splint or something going on.
Yeah, that was definitely crazy. Like my cuticle was peeling away. Yeah, that was the worst one, I think.
Fun. Yeah, so welcome to the late night of the Wise Guy Radio Show. It's now 12:20 a.m. here in Florida, and I am now completely delirious, so welcome to the show. So, yeah. So my last question I like to ask, which is I'm still debating on taking this out and changing it. I don't really fucking know. But that being said, here you go. So if you were stranded on an island, and I'm going to go ahead and say it's a deserted island, there's a glass studio on there, you have your kiln, your torch, your glasses, all your gases you need to work with, and that's it. So you have gases, torch, kiln, glasses to wear. And you had to make something to survive. What 5 items would you bring?
Oh God. Okay, so there's no glass there?
Nope.
Okay, so well, I would definitely have to bring some fucking glass. So, am I allowed to bring a case of glass? I'm probably asking too many questions.
No, you're fine.
So
that's why I'm trying to figure this out, because it's ask away.
Okay, so I would definitely bring some larger diameter tubing, probably like, I don't know. I'd bring probably like, what is it, 56 or 50 mil?
Yep.
50 mil. Yeah, I'd bring like 50 mil, a case of 50 mil, which really isn't that much, but
yeah, it's like 6 tubes, but you can get a lot of shit out of that.
Yeah, for sure. I would bring a case of 9.5. I would bring a graphite like block, like one of those little things you set on your bench.
Like a marble pad.
Yeah, marble pad, exactly. I don't have one, so I guess that's why I don't know the formula. I'm not that fucking fancy over here. Let's see what else. I would bring a reamer and a pair of forceps. Is that 5? No, I think I passed 5. Huh?
No, that's 5. Yep, I'm keeping track.
Yeah, like I'd get like giant set of forceps, like the 12-inch ones.
Hell yeah. So the way I'm going to change this up is, what the hell would you make?
Okay, so I would obviously need to make something where I could boil water. So I would make some kind of like thing to hold water, like a giant whatever pot, or like just container, to boil water in so I could drink and stay alive. And then I would have to make something to get food, and I assume that there's probably animals. So, and I'm a carnivore. I'm sorry, people who are vegan, but like I'd kill some animals so I could eat. So I'd have to make like, like a weapon of some kind. Probably like a blow dart thing.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'd make one of those for sure. And then like a plate if I needed it to like eat off of, because gotta stay somewhat cultured.
Yeah, you can't revert back to cavemen and women right away.
So maybe I'll make myself a plate.
Eventually, when you have like dreads down to your knees and a full beard and everything else going on. I mean, I know you're a chick, but say the full beard wouldn't happen. I would hope not, but you never know.
I almost have dreads down to my knees.
Oh wow, nice.
They're pretty long. Down all the way to like the top of my butt.
Hell yeah. How long have you been growing them for?
I've had my dreads for like three years now.
Hell yeah. They getting pretty heavy?
Yeah, I shaved the sides of my head off.
Yeah, I see that.
I had to, because my neck was really hurting, and I thought about shaving my whole head, but I got freaked out about that because I know I'd look like a little boy and stuff, and I don't know. I wanted people to still find me attractive. So it's just somewhat shallow. So
no, but I think you would be attractive with a shaved head, and you'd be a badass little boy. So it wouldn't fuck them.
Demi Moore in that movie G.I. Jane.
Exactly.
The Asian version.
That's so funny. Hell yeah! Well, this has been a lot of fun. Yeah, like I said, I'm now my brain cells are waving a white flag. The one I have lonely in my head. So before we let you go, I'd like to have you give us a parting piece of advice. And we never did discuss is that you're going to be in this badass glass show coming up here pretty soon. So tell us about that real quick. The demonstration when you're going to be doing with other artists. And then also a parting piece of advice. And then number 3 is where we can find you out there in cyberspace.
Okay. Well, I was supposed to do Happy Place. That was like the last thing I was lined up to do. But unfortunately I didn't make it because I have to be a mother first and do what's best for my son. So I had to back out of that one,
okay,
which was unfortunate.
I'll just cut it out. Forget that I even asked.
I mean, I don't really care.
No, I know. It's okay.
Everybody knows, but
did it already happen?
Yeah.
Am I like a day late and $1 short? I didn't even look at the date of the show.
Oh yeah, it was for New Year's Day.
Oh well, fucking A. Never mind.
Okay, it's all right.
I gotta pay better attention to these things. I'm actually gonna be putting a calendar of events on the website, so I know myself personally when things are going on in the industry, but also so people that are out in the industry can look at the calendar and know when things are going on as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Yeah. So all right. So you had to back out, which I get that. Parent first.
Yeah. So I didn't end up doing that, which is cool because I fell asleep before midnight with Tristan.
You old lady, my God.
Fucking party animal of a rager.
I had to work that night over at Disney, and I was there. They wanted me to stay till 11, and backstage was closing at 10:40, and backstage is where I have to go to my car. My car is like 15 minutes away from where I work at, and so I left at 10, so that way I can haul ass home. I have an hour and a half commute, so I hauled ass home, and I had 15 minutes to spare. I was like, I hate having anxiety when I'm driving, 'cause like you were saying that before about driving with anxiety. Yeah. So it was like the whole way I'm like, okay, don't some douchebag pull out in front of me or some dumb shit or I get pulled over. So I was like driving the speed limit. I was looking at my GPS, looking for like up ahead, like way ahead where I live, if there was any kind of like police pullover, DUI checkpoint kind of bullshit, like anything that could potentially have been in my way. And thank God I got there and I had 15 minutes to spare. Took a giant dump when I got home and gave my wife a kiss at midnight. All right. It was perfect.
Man, sounds like a good way to bring in 2017.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Lost 5 pounds and got a kiss at midnight.
Dude, who doesn't like taking a good shit? Like, especially when you need to. It's like such a good feeling.
Because I can't do it at Disney. There's like, I mean, I'm sure I could, but I don't. I just can't. So, yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, just
I
get.
don't like shitting in public places.
Yeah, and they're fun talking about pooping. What the hell? Whatever. This conversation has gone everywhere tonight. I love it. I need more of this in my life.
So random. I think this is probably your most random show.
Yeah, yeah. It's all right though. Actually, no, it's not. I've had a couple of them that were had this dude Mongo on. He goes by Mongo, and I like in the first 2 seconds of the show, I said the word fuck, and he's like, "Welcome to the fucking Wise Guy Radio Show," and we just went like downhill from there. It was pretty. I think I laughed more in that show than I've laughed in a long time. It was pretty fun. So I appreciate you being on here and giving me a chance to laugh and be a dumbass all night. It's fun.
Oh yeah, totally. Thanks for having me on here. This has been really interesting. It's been
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
experience.
Hell yeah. So before I let you go though, if you want to, and also hang on after I say goodbye, so we can say byes off the air.
Okay.
For sure. But yeah, so now if you want to tell us where we can find you out there in cyberspace.
Oh, totally. So I pretty much just post all my pictures on Instagram, and you can find me on there under HLK Glass. I don't know if I need to spell that out phonetically, but
It's
yeah,
EHELLKAY.
Good one. That's a good one. Honestly, it took me a second to try to I'm like, wait, elk? Like, let's try.
Yeah, just HLK. So what does that stand for?
It stands for Happy Little Korean.
Awesome. I love it. Fuck yeah.
But I feel like, you can make it into whatever you want. I've had some people say some dirty things about the H.
I bet.
But that's okay.
Hey, I think the Happy Little Korean is amazing. It's so fun. I had no idea that was the last thing I would have ever thought of. So fantastic.
A lot of people think it's reference to the Hulk, like, the comic book character, but he's not my favorite. Fuck that guy.
That green bastard.
Yeah. He's always fucking shit up.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, so I'm primarily active on Instagram. I'd take my breaks every once in a while, but I also have a Facebook, and you can find me just under my name, Jae, and then my last name is Merm, MERM.
Cool. Hell yeah, and I'll have all this in the show notes for everybody to check out. And then you can find her episode on wiseguyradio.com/144. I still can't believe 144. Jesus.
I was just going to ask you what number I am, too.
144.
You read mine.
Yeah, crazy, right?
140 fucking 4.
Yeah, it's amazing. Holy shit.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's killer. Yeah, so before I fall asleep here, thanks to everybody for tuning in today, and hope you are still hanging on. If you are, you're a rock star, and thank you for listening to our rambles about family and life and pooping. So we have covered the gamut from guns to weed to taking a shit. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It's been fun. So thanks so much, Jay, for coming on. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun. So.
And make sure y'all go check her out on Instagram and all the social media feeds. I'll have all links in the show notes for you. And again, thank you for tuning in and staying on for 2 hours and 24 minutes of rambling and having fun talking. So, love you. Take care. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you on the next episode of the Wise Guy Radio Show. Take care. Peace. This episode of the Wise Guy Radio Show is brought to you by The Flow magazine. Since its inception, the focus of The Flow has been to provide a bond among members of the lampworking community. In every issue, you can enjoy great content with the hottest artists and cutting-edge techniques using the latest industry products. These features, along with the continuation of our Women in Glass edition, Glasscraft Emerging Artist Awards, inspiring gallery showcases, dynamic general interest articles, as well as health and safety information, make The Flow the leading international lampworking journal. For more information or to subscribe to The Flow, go to theflowmagazine.com. That's theflowmagazine.com.